Hey, Crystal Navanway here in Phoenix. Yesterday, I attended a short sale roundtable meeting that was sponsored by the Women's Council of Realtors. And I've been to a meeting like this before where they brought in a loss mitigator from a bank. And they really should have brought in a referee too, because there was a lot of aggression between the speaker and the audience, let me just tell you. But this meeting was a lot different. The fellow from BofA was not actually from the short sale department. He was a middleman. He was a loan officer who was pretty frustrated with Bank of America's process for reviewing and approving short sales, and was also frustrated because Bank of America has a terrible reputation right now. He recognizes that. In fact, he plays a little game with himself every day to see how early it is before he hears the phrase, BofA sucks. And it's pretty early most days. But his role is to act sort of as a mediator between the short sale department and realtors, loan officers, those of us out here who are working with these short sale files. And the idea is that with that input, they can improve their processes. BofA is really committed right now to improving the process. They recognize that a short sale is an advantage to them over a foreclosure. So they're beefing up their staff. They've paid off their TARP funds, so that gives them a little more flexibility in how they handle these files. And they really want the system to work better than it is now. And that's not really saying a lot because, you may have to wait a whole year or more for an approval from BofA. There's so many horror stories, it's not even funny. So it was really a nice gesture, I thought, that they were sending a representative out to speak with us and who was really interested in hearing what we had to say. And he meets regularly with the short sale department to pass on the information, and it was encouraging us to do the same, to pass on the information. So, as a summary, what the short sale department wants to focus on, they do want to reduce the response time for these short sale files. Right now, it's just a mess. You submit a file, and you might have to submit it 5 or 6 times because they lose it. And then after that, you wait forever, months and months, before you even get a negotiator signed, the first level person to review that file. So they've changed their process. They now have an electronic submission process that's supposed to improve the way that these files are submitted. It's got some bugs right now. People who are caught in this transition period are really frustrated because their files are kind of lost in space right now, but the hope is that it will make it easier to submit the files rather than just faxing it into outer space. You can immediately see that the file has been received. And then at that point, they're shooting for a 45-day window for what they're calling deferred loans. In other words, loans that they can make the approval in-house. They want a 45-day window for the approval there from the time they receive the completed file. That includes a signed purchase contract. And he did concede that it's probably 45 business days, but let's face it, 9 weeks is a lot better than 9 months. And then for a non-deferred file where they have to go outside of Bank of America and get investor approval, they're looking for a 90-day approval window. Again, it's 18 weeks versus who knows how long, so I guess it is an improvement. They also want to change the verbiage that they're using in the short sale approval letters. Now, they do short sales all over America, and not every state has non-deficiency laws like we do here in Arizona. But when a borrower reads that they may be liable for the deficiency, that BofA might come after them, there's no incentive for them to do a short sale. They'll just go ahead and foreclose where they have protections. So BofA realizes that, in some states they can go after the deficiency, but in other states they can't and they won't. So they're going to try and change that verbiage in the approval letter to release the borrower of liability of any deficiencies if the short sale is approved. And then finally, they want to start respecting their relationships with realtors. In other words, they're going to stop cutting the commissions down to the bone. And with the clients, they want to start getting the borrowers a little more involved in the process. They really want to make sure that if the borrower wants to remain in the home, that all the options have been exhausted before a short sale is approved. So they want them to go through a workout counselor to see if maybe there's a loan modification that will work for them. But they recognize, this fellow in particular, that at some point people get so frustrated they just say, forget it, I'm just leaving. I don't even want to deal with this anymore. And then they'll go ahead and work on a short sale. So that's it in a nutshell. It's a 3-hour meeting, and I'm trying to give you just the highlights. But if you have any questions or comments, or if you'd like to speak with me further about this, including if you're looking for some contact information. I'd be happy to share that with you. Shoot me an email at kristen@heronphoenix.com or leave me a comment in the comment box below. I would really love to hear from you, and make it a great day.